The rain was relentless that Tuesday, mirroring the storm brewing inside me. Bertram, a 43-year-old architect in Seattle, had always prided myself on my meticulous nature, my ability to see the underlying structure in everything. But I was blind to the cracks in my own marriage. My wife, Isolde, was a vibrant, captivating woman. A talented musician, her passion for the violin filled our home with life and beauty. We had been together for 15 years, married for 12. Or so I thought I knew her. The first hint came subtly, a nagging feeling that something was off. Isolde started staying late at rehearsals with her orchestra, claiming extra practice was needed for an upcoming concert. I didn't question it at first. I trusted her implicitly. I would often make her favorite meal of salmon with roasted vegetables and have it waiting for her when she came home. Sometimes she would be appreciative, other times she would seem distracted. Then came the text messages. One night, Isolde left her phone on the kitchen counter while she went to take a shower. An alert popped up. "Can't wait to see you tomorrow night, my love." The message was from a number I didn't recognize. Curiosity, that insidious serpent, coiled in my gut. I told myself I was just being cautious, that any loving husband would want to know who was contacting his wife so intimately. I picked up the phone. The message history was a cascade of flirtatious exchanges, pet names, and blatant declarations of love. The sender was listed as Gareth Orchestra. Gareth, another violinist. I vaguely recalled Isolde mentioning him once or twice. My hands began to tremble as I scrolled further, each message a fresh stab wound to my heart. "Last night was magical," one message read. "I can't get enough of you, thinking of your touch," another one said. "Rehearsal can't come soon enough." The blood drained from my face. My world tilted on its axis. I felt like I was drowning, gasping for air in a sea of betrayal. I stumbled back, clutching the phone as if it were a venomous snake. Isolde emerged from the shower, her face flushed, a towel wrapped around her body. She saw the look on my face and her eyes widened in alarm. "Bertram, what's wrong?" she asked, her voice trembling. I held up the phone, my hand shaking. "Who is Gareth?" I managed to choke out. Her face paled. She opened her mouth to speak, but no words came out. The silence stretched, thick and heavy, punctuated only by the pounding of my heart in my ears. "It's not what you think," she finally stammered, her eyes darting around the room. "Then what is it, Isolde?" I demanded, my voice rising. "Tell me the truth." She began to cry, the tears streaming down her face. "It just happened," she sobbed. "I didn't mean for it to go this far." "How far, Isolde?" I pressed, my voice dangerously low. "Have you been sleeping with him?" She flinched, avoiding my gaze. The answer was clear. My heart shattered into a million pieces. The woman I had loved, the woman I had built my life with, had betrayed me in the most profound way imaginable. The next few weeks were a blur of anger, pain, and sleepless nights. I moved into the guest room, unable to bear the thought of sharing a bed with her. We argued constantly, the accusations and denials echoing through the house. Isolde begged for forgiveness, promising to end the affair, to do whatever it took to win me back. But the trust was gone, irrevocably broken. I couldn't understand it. I had always been a good husband. I worked hard, I supported Isolde's dreams, I showered her with love and affection. Where had I gone wrong? What had driven her into the arms of another man? As I dug deeper, I began to uncover more disturbing truths. The late rehearsals weren't always rehearsals. There were secret rendezvous, clandestine dinners, and stolen weekends away. Isolde had been living a double life, and I had been completely oblivious. I felt like a fool, a naive idiot who had been played for a sucker. I decided I needed to confront Gareth. I tracked him down through the orchestra's website and found his address. One evening, after Isolde had left for what she claimed was a solo practice, I drove to his apartment. Gareth was a tall, handsome man with a smug look on his face. Opened the door, a surprised expression on his face that quickly morphed into a sneer when he saw me. "Bertram, isn't it?" he said, his voice dripping with condescension. "What a surprise. I want you to stay away from my wife," I said, my voice trembling with barely suppressed rage. He laughed. "Isolde is a grown woman," he said. "She can make her own choices. She's married," I retorted. "You're destroying a family. Maybe her family needed destroying," he said with a shrug. "Maybe she deserves better than you." Was it? Something inside me snapped. I lunged at him, grabbing him by the collar and slamming him against the wall. We wrestled, trading blows, the fight fueled by years of pent-up frustration and betrayal. I was not a fighter, but I was running on pure adrenaline. The fight ended as quickly as it began. Gareth managed to knee me in the groin, sending me sprawling to the ground. He stood over me, panting, a triumphant smirk on his face. "Get out of here, Bertram," he said, his voice cold. "And stay away from Isolde." I limped back to my car, defeated and humiliated. The fight had only made things worse. I had given Gareth the satisfaction of knowing he had gotten under my skin, and I had accomplished nothing. I returned home to find Isolde waiting for me, her face etched with worry. She had heard about the fight from Gareth. "What were you thinking?" she screamed, her voice shrill. "You could have gotten hurt. You could have gotten arrested." "I was thinking about you," I said, my voice flat. "About how you've been lying to me, betraying me, destroying our marriage." "I told you I'm sorry," she said, tears welling up in her eyes. "I made a mistake." "A mistake," I repeated, my voice laced with sarcasm. "This wasn't a mistake, Isolde. This was a deliberate, calculated act of betrayal." The next day I consulted with a lawyer. The divorce proceedings were swift and brutal. Isolde fought me every step of the way, but I was determined to get out of that marriage. I couldn't spend another day with her knowing what she had done. As the divorce became final, a strange sense of calm washed over me. The anger and pain were still there, but they were tempered by a sense of closure. I was free. Free from the lies, free from the betrayal, free to start over. I moved out of our house and into a small apartment in the city. I threw myself into my work, finding solace in the order and precision of architecture. I reconnected with old friends, took up new hobbies, and slowly began to rebuild my life. One evening, a few months after the divorce, I received a phone call from an unknown number. I hesitated before answering, but curiosity got the better of me. "Hello," I said cautiously. "Bertram, it's Gwyneth," a woman's voice said on the other end. Gareth's wife. My heart skipped a beat. "Gwyneth," I said, surprised. "What do you want?" "I wanted to apologize," she said, her voice trembling. "For what Gareth did to you and Isolde." I had no idea. "I found out about the affair a few weeks ago, and I was devastated." "I'm sorry to hear that," I said, feeling a pang of sympathy for her. "I'm leaving him," she said. "I can't stay with someone who is capable of such deceit." We talked for a long time that night, sharing our stories of betrayal and heartbreak. We found solace in each other's pain, a shared understanding of what it was like to be deceived by someone you loved. Over the next few months, Gwyneth and I grew closer. We started meeting for coffee, then for dinner. We discovered that we had a lot in common, a shared love of art, music, and literature. We laughed together, we cried together, and we slowly began to heal each other's wounds. One day, Gwyneth asked me a question that I had been dreading. "Do you ever think about Isolde?" she asked, her voice soft. I hesitated. "Sometimes," I admitted. "I try not to, but it's hard to forget 15 years of your life." "Do you hate her?" she asked. I thought about it for a moment. "No," I said finally. "I don't hate her. I'm angry, I'm hurt, but I don't hate her. I pity her, really." She threw away something precious for a fleeting moment of pleasure. Gwyneth nodded. "I feel the same way about Gareth," she said. "I don't hate him, but I can't forgive him. I can't trust him ever again." As time went on, my feelings for Gwyneth deepened. I found myself falling in love with her, her kindness, her intelligence, her strength. She was everything Isolde wasn't: honest, loyal, and compassionate. One evening, as we were walking along the beach, I stopped and turned to her. "Gwyneth," I said, taking her hands in mine, "I love you. I never thought I could feel this way again after what happened with Isolde, but you've shown me that it's possible to love again." Gwyneth smiled, her eyes sparkling with tears. "I love you too, Bertram," she said. "More than you know." We embraced, the sound of the waves crashing against the shore, a symphony of hope and renewal. I had lost everything, but I had also found something new. A second chance at love, a chance to build a life with someone who truly deserved me. One day, about 2 years after my divorce from Isolde, I received a letter. It was postmarked from a small town in Montana. I opened it with trepidation. The letter was from Isolde. She wrote that she had moved to Montana to be closer to her sister. She was working as a music teacher at a local school. She said she was sorry for what she had done, that she regretted her affair with Gareth every day. She admitted that she had made a terrible mistake, that she had thrown away the best thing that had ever happened to her. She also said that she had been diagnosed with cancer. It was a rare and aggressive form of the disease, and the prognosis was not good. She wrote that she didn't expect me to forgive her, but she wanted me to know that she was thinking of me. I was stunned. I didn't know what to think. Part of me felt a sense of vindication, a sense that Isolde was finally getting what she deserved. But another part of me felt a pang of sympathy for her. She was dying, alone and regretful. I showed the letter to Gwyneth. She read it in silence, her face etched with concern. "What are you going to do?" she asked, her voice soft. I didn't know. I thought about it for a long time. In the end, I decided to do what I thought was right. I booked a flight to Montana. When I arrived, I found Isolde in a small, sterile hospital room. She was pale and frail, her once vibrant hair now thin and lifeless. She looked up when I entered, her eyes widening in surprise. "Bertram," she whispered, her voice weak. "What are you doing here?" "I came to see you," I said, pulling up a chair beside her bed. We talked for hours that day, about the past, about the present, about the future. I listened as she told me about her regrets, her fears, her hopes. I didn't forgive her, but I offered her my compassion. I held her hand, I wiped her tears, and I told her that I would be there for her as a friend until the end. Isolde passed away a few weeks later. I attended her funeral, along with her sister and a few close friends. It was a sad and somber occasion, but it also felt like a release. Isolde was finally at peace, and I was finally able to let go of the anger and resentment that had consumed me for so long. I returned to Seattle, to Gwyneth, to my life. I had been through hell and back, but I had emerged stronger and wiser. I had learned that betrayal can be overcome, that forgiveness is possible, and that love can be found again, even in the darkest of times. My life with Gwyneth is a testament to that. We built a beautiful life together, filled with love, laughter, and mutual respect. And every day I am grateful for the second chance that I was given. A chance to love, to be loved, and to live a life of honesty and integrity.